chain chaos that is happening around the globe, and this looks to be something that is heavily orchestrated here. It looks like a lot of the world leadership is in on this, and a lot of the goods coming out of China, getting snagged out there first. Once they do get to the United States, they have to sit in queue, and then if they do get unloaded, some of those containers are just sitting in areas. Mountains of containers are stacking up, like in Chicago. We have witnessed the West Coast ports of the United States see an increase of boats that are just sitting in the water. They have now shattered a record. Just a couple weeks ago, it was at 40, and they were talking about the record. Here just yesterday, as we had seen, it was at 61 and potentially still climbing as of today. A record amount of boats just sitting in the water off the coast of California. And everyone wonders where their goods are. It's because of the scam that you're in. That's what this whole thing boils to. We're being choked off. Can you not see this? That's what's happening by design. Okay? And so that you know, when it comes to sending these 40-foot containers across the ocean, it used to cost right around $2,000. Today, it's as much as 25 grand. You don't think leadership doesn't know this? You don't think things could be done to fix this? Oh yeah, they could be. It's because of who is in control of all this and running the show. I'm going to break this down further on the live streams. Make sure to join me as I go live this coming Friday. It's going to be a big show. Hope to see you guys there. You'll find links below in the description.
Hey, Shalom, Akim Shalom. First thing and foremost, I want to give all praises and glory on it as due to Yahweh Shimi Yahweh Shai by Shimmer Kakadash. Double honors to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone. Peace and blessings and salutation to the hopeful elect. News in the gospel, broad lifting up the standard of Yahweh Shimi Yahweh Shai, wherever it may be. Stock your Mahal lawyer coming back with another lesson. Slok, your Lord's will to be edifying. Once again, information by Dabu 7. He puts out some pretty good information. It's the spirit because we were just kind of going into the supply chain a few weeks ago on how they don't have the money. Okay, I mean, it costs money to ship these goods, and truckers, they're not going to work for free. You see what I'm saying? When you have GDP, gross domestic product, that's a lot lesser than economic growth, then how are you going to get the money? You know, because if you're printing out just trillions of dollars by the bucket, then your money is being devalued, but nonetheless, your rates are not increasing. So a lot of these goods and so forth that's supposed to go to these stores, they're just sitting back on docks, man. Like he mentioned Chicago, LA, you know, in the ports and so forth. Like, you know, Washington, D.C. Not Washington, D.C., but Seattle, Washington, Tacoma. Those are like port cities that they get a lot of imports from that particular region, a lot of fish and mackerel. And a lot of your goods is on back stock, on back order. Okay, and that's the reason why a lot of goods are going up, because it's causing things to inflate. Because when you have supply and demand, you have a high level of demand, but you don't have the supply, the price is going to go up. So therefore, you have this problem. So a lot of times when you go to the stores now, Walmart, maybe Target's, Walmart's, or any grocery store, Whole Foods, etc., a lot of those foods are pretty much, they're coming from back stock, from the shelf, and a lot of them are not even really, how can I say, they're not the freshest supply of food, because you used to get 2 or 3 trucks that pulled up to Walmart a week. Now they'd be happy if they get even one, and if they do get one, it's probably a rotation in stocks, because they have to rotate those things every so often. Like I bought out the concept, man. I bought up some taco shells 2 weeks ago that allegedly had a 2022 expiration date, but the shit was stale, pretty much stale. They tasted like they'd been on the shelf for months. That's because it was sitting in the back of their warehouse, and they're rotating the stock in order to keep their shelves filled. But a lot of cereals, a lot of certain grains and stuff like that, excuse me, they're not getting to the shelves, man. Okay, and it's causing shit to go up, and eventually this is going to cause a famine, because what happens when these foods run out of when these stores run out of food for good, it's going to be a famine out here. And I believe that's what they're doing intentionally, because hey, they want a famine, and all that food, they're just sitting there on them docks and shit, is going bad. You know what I'm saying? They're not shipping it into the stores. Then truckers, they're talking about quitting. because of the such and such, the you know what, instead of a trucker strike, they're like, you know what, we just gonna quit, man, because we don't want to deal with this shit no more, So anyway, it says 2 years ago, it cost for a 40-foot container to transport goods from Asia to the U.S. was under $2,000. Now today, as much as $25,000. You know why? Because supply and demand, and you have what they call hyperinflation. Okay, now hyperinflation will be the killer of the economy in a roundabout way, or in a short time. Okay, because for the simple fact, you're printing money, they're not being backed by precious metals. Okay, and on top of that, you don't have the product. So hey, you can see things are getting up. Like I said last week, you had cow milk that was damn near $4 a gallon, man. You know what I'm saying? Over $4 a gallon over a lower grade quality of milk that technically you shouldn't even been drinking. So it says, it's amid August and logistics manager Roxanne Thomas. It says phone won't stop pinging. It says our faucets, sinks, and toilets are wailing near Shanghai, snagged in Vancouver, buried under a pile of shipping containers in rail yard outside of Chicago. Meaning that's food right there. You know what I'm saying? And then on top of that, when they shut things down, they can just be having that food there to ration off to people. Because they're going to start back rationing foods like they did last year when the pandemic hit. You was only able to go buy like 1 or 2 things of toilet paper. You was only able to buy a pack or 2 of meat. That's called rationing, man. And they're going to get back to doing that once, all hell break loose, because they ain't going to have the food to feed everybody. And it's really to starve you out, okay? Because it's going to come a time that if you ain't get the you-know-what, then they're going to say, well, hey, you ain't getting food. So it's all part of a design to starve people out, man, okay? And this is all Bible prophecy. So, hey, the Lord said these things had to come to pass, okay? So this is the book of 2 Ezra 8 and 50. It says, for many great miseries should be done to them that in the latter time should dwell on the earth, because they have walked in great pride, right? Because the American populace, to be specific, the people in America, man, and their mindset, it goes forever. They feel overly entitled, okay? They feel that they're owed something. You know what I'm saying? America is the most entitled country on the planet Earth, man. For people that do less of nothing deserve everything, right? Okay, but it says, but understand thou for thyself and seek out the glory for such as be like thee, okay? And this is one common thing the men of the Lord have. This is what we're seeking for the hopeful elect, It says, for the paradise is open. It says, for unto you is paradise open, and the tree of life is planted. The time to come is prepared, and plenty is made. A city is builded, and rest is allowed. Yea, perfect goodness and wisdom, okay? And that's the coming kingdom of heaven. Because in this society, there's no rest. You're working to sun up, sun down. Your body's tired. Prime example, you got to deal with them not bringing food to the store. You overpaying for poison, because the food has no particular minerals or no substance in it. It's all chemically enhanced based foods. Wonder why everybody's all sick and obese. Okay, so yeah, this place is completely degradable, man. And this is the reason why we're glad that this day is coming forth, because hey, this lets us know that hey, the kingdom of heaven is near. So yeah, man, we condone what's happening in the world. All right, so this is the book of Genesis 47, and I'm gonna start at verses 12. It says, in Joseph, matter of fact, 12, it says, and there was no bread in all the land, for the famine was very sore, so that the land of Egypt and all the land of Canaan fainted by reason of the famine. And if you pay attention, they're strategically planning a famine. Okay, you got all these foods that's being transported from different parts of the world, but yet they're not reaching stores. They're just sitting on the outskirts of the city, possibly being guarded. And if you go and try to take it, then they're going to arrest you or possibly gun you down on sight. But yeah, what if you're hungry, man? What if the food run out of the stores? What if you're hungry? What if you need to feed your children? And you got all this food just sitting here, but yet you're not able to get any of it? That's oppression, man. And it says, and Joseph gathered all of the money that was found in the land of Egypt and in the land of Canaan. It says, for the corn which they bought, and Joseph bought the money into Pharaoh's house, because they had a collapse then. This is what they call an economic depression, when they had to start rationing things out. Okay, and it says that when the money faileth in the land of Egypt and in the land of Canaan, all the Egyptians came into Joseph and said, give us bread, for why should we die in thy presence? For the money faileth. All right, and it says, and Joseph said, give your cattle, and I will give for your cattle if money fails. So it was kind of like a bartering thing. But Joseph was righteous, unlike Esau, Esau, he's not bartering with you. He's just going to take or he's going to starve you out. That's the plan of the elites, because you're dealing with a true devil. And it says, and Joseph said, give your cattle and I will give for to you money, if money failed. And they bought the cattle unto Joseph, and Joseph gave them bread in exchange for the horses, and for the flocks, and for the cattle of herbs, and for the asses. And he fed them with the bread for all their cattle that year. Okay, so that's called bartering. Okay, but what does Esau does? He barters on the left-hand side because he's wicked. He barters, then he takes. You see what I'm saying? It's going to ultimately end in his downfall, because, hey, Yahweh Shai is judging America. That's why these things are happening. All right, so this is Sirach 4:1. It says, my son, defraud not the poor of his living, and make not the needy eyes to wait long. You got people out here that's starving, dude. Get this fucking food to the stores. But like I said, the truckers, they're not going to work for free, and they don't have the money. You know what I'm saying? They don't have the money. That's why shit just sitting there. It says, and make not a hungry soul sorrowful, neither provoke a man in his distress. All right? So say this, right? If all hell break loose and you don't have a man that ate and he's trying to feed his family, he's going to come for you. He's going to come to your house and he's going to take what you got. Okay? That's just natural. That's human nature. Especially dealing with one of Esau. It says, and add not more trouble to a heart that is vexed, and defer not to give him that is in need. So Esau is clearly violating the oath of the Most High, man. Okay? Mainly on the Israelites. Because you other nations, we can really care less about whether you eat or not. All right? But in the kingdom, you will be fed. And you will be taken care of once you serve your punishment. It says, reject not the supplication of the afflicted, neither turn away thy face from the poor man, and turn not thy way thy eye from the needy, and give him none occasion to curse thee. For if he curse thee in the bitterness of his soul, his prayer should be heard of him that made him. Okay? So yeah, man. Esau, man, he's oppressive. He's a straight devil. He's a demon. All right? And we're going to need Yahweh Shai with all our being, in order to get through this time, man, because it's getting ready to get exceptionally bad out here. All right, one more precept, and I'm going to shut it down. The point is being made. This is the book of Daniel 12:1. It says, and at that time, Michael shall stand up, meaning you're going to have a great spiritual intervention. It says, with the great prince, which standeth for the children of thy people, and there should be a time of trouble, such it was never since there was a nation, even to that time. And at thy time, that time thy people shall be delivered. Everyone that should be found in the book, written in the book of life. Okay, so this is the time of our deliverance, Akim. That's why shit is the way it is. But anyway, I'm giving all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh Shai. With that, Shalom and the Baba Ball.